The small Yorkshire town of Emley decamped en masse to the East End of London for the greatest day in the non-league club's history. But when Frank Lampard Jr. put Premier League West Ham in front in only 4 minutes, the home fans sat back and waited for the rout to start. But the Unibond League part-timers refused to collapse, and when Paul David headed home Ian Banks' corner, it looked as though they could become only the 7th non-league side ever to eject top-flight opponents from the FA Cup. Emley held out until 9 minutes from time when John Hartson finally got West Ham off the hook, heading home his 18th of the season from Stan Lazaridis' cross. West Ham through, but the heroes of the day were Emley, a standing ovation to end the club's finest ever day, even in defeat.
Outstanding. The lads were marvellous. Couldn't ask anything else of the lads. Great day out. We were unfortunate in the end. I mean, the first period of the second half, like, when we got the goal, we looked good. But that's the way it goes, so...
The boys are great. I'm just happy they weren't disgraced, and they were absolutely superb there. Absolutely superb.
I think that's the best we could have hoped for. I mean, we've put a great showing on, and, you know, luckily for us, they weren't at the best, so, yeah, we're very pleased.
At one each, I'm sure the West Ham lads there were a few nappies out there of it.
What did you think when that equaliser went in?
I couldn't believe it, but we had them on the rack at that stage. I hit the bar. Willie went close. We had a few goal-mouth scrambles, and when it went in, it was an absolute unbelievable thing. I looked at the scoreboard, looked 1-1. West Ham 1, Emley 1. Really? I couldn't believe it. I just kept smiling at everybody. I thought, is this real?
As long as we scored. I mean, we didn't come here to get beat, but I mean, we didn't really think we had, you know, a great chance, but like I said, just to score and to keep it tight for so long. I mean, we did think we had a chance, but never mind. There's always next year.
We haven't let ourselves down. We've had a lot of travelling support. I'd like to thank all the West Ham supporters for, you know, treating us nice. Nice, not over yet. Is it, pal?
No, it's just nice, isn't it?
Harry Redknapp said it was the most difficult match West Ham had faced all year. The next stop for Emley is Frickley Athletic.
Francesco Baiano ended Derby's drought of only 1 goal in 4 previous games. His inspirational second-half display putting out Southampton. On 67 minutes, Carlton Palmer adjudged to have brought down the Italian. Baiano picked himself up to send Paul Jones the wrong way. Derby, dominant throughout, went looking for a second to finish it, and 6 minutes later, Chris Powell finished off after Baiano again instigated trouble in the Saints' goalmouth. Swindon have slumped out of the Division 1 promotion race recently, but when Mark Walters produced a 25-yard strike which whistled in on the wind, it looked like Swindon were on their way into round 4 in the FA Cup. But even before turning round to play with the wind, non-league Stevenage pulled level. Michael Love's cross not cleared by Swindon's defenders, and Jason Solomon curling a beauty into the top corner. Conditions certainly conspired against Swindon in the second half, the wind preventing Fraser Digby from clearing effectively, and with his defence in disarray, Giuliano Grazioli prodded home on 65 minutes. Swindon gave it everything, but their best efforts late on could not make amends for earlier lapses. Stevenage into round 4 for the first time in their history. Wednesday's new boss, Ron Atkinson, remembered being dumped out of the Cup at Vicarage Road when Manchester United's manager. He knew it would be hard again. Benito Carbone and Paolo Di Canio classically combined to set up Nicholas Alexanderson. Wednesday in front on 64 minutes, but within 60 seconds, Watford were level. Peter Kennedy's thunderbolt from 25 yards, beating Kevin Pressman. Graham Taylor has Watford buzzing again, top of their league, and after Cup exploits with Watford first time round, he won't fear the replay. Just when it looked as though Liverpool had at last found the consistency they've lacked in the past few seasons, Coventry again found Anfield to their liking. All this despite going behind to Jamie Redknapp's early free kick. But Liverpool's defensive shortcomings reappeared with a vengeance. Darren Huckabee had already run the home side ragged before beating Bjorn Kavarme and Jason McAteer to chip an angle shot past David James. That gave Coventry belief, and how they capitalised after the break. Huckerby again finding his way past Vormer. James parried the shot, but only as far as Dion Dublin. Coventry squandered several chances to wrap it up before Huckerby yet again created danger, and Paul Telfer seized on the rebound off the woodwork to send Liverpool crashing to a catastrophic home defeat. Blackburn are a lean and mean outfit again this season. They showed no charity to their local neighbours from 2 leagues below. But it was a Wigan player who helped them on their way. On 20 minutes, Pat McGibbon deflecting Jeff Kenna's cross into his own net under pressure from Chris Sutton. That may have been fortunate, but Blackburn's second was precision itself. Kevin Gallagher chipping Roy Carroll from 20 yards. Blackburn extended their lead 3 minutes after half-time. Stuart Ripley crossing, Colin Greenall able to clear only as far as Tim Sherwood, who lobbed Carroll for his 5th of the season. Rovers made it 4 on the hour. Damien Duff crossing from the left this time. Gallagher claiming the final touch for his 13th of the season. Wigan refused to go down without a fight though. David Lee broke down the right-hand side and tucked the ball inside Tim Flower's post on 61 minutes. And Lee again helped pull back a second for Wigan, crossing for David Lowe, the substitute. That made it 4-2, but Blackburn's renewed ruthlessness prevented any possibility of an embarrassment as they strode confidently into round 4. Leeds United were knocked out of the FA Cup at Elland Road by Oxford 4 years ago, but 17 minutes into this one, Gary Kelly's in-swinging corner was headed in by Lucas Radebe, the South African international's first in 93 Leeds appearances, and Leeds went on to prove just how tough a unit they've become. Oxford's hopes began to fall apart when Martin Gray earned a second yellow card inside 2 minutes for a foul on Radebe. That left referee Mike Reed with no option other than a sending off. Just on the stroke of half-time, a second major blow for Oxford. Phil Gilchrist bringing down Rod Wallace. Referee Reed consulting with the linesman and awarding the penalty. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank made it 2. Leeds ran the game in the second period. The Australian prodigy Harry Kewell killing the game in 2 devastating minutes. Leeds' third coming from the edge of the box. Then a 1-2 with Wallace before striking Leeds' 4th and Kewell's 2nd from 18 yards. The goal scoring was finished, but one more contentious refereeing decision. Nigel Martin adjudged to have brought down the Oxford sub Jamie Cook on the edge of the box and earning an immediate sending off. Leeds will miss him when he's suspended. That took the gloss off another powerful display by Leeds. A local derby at Filbert Street, but Leicester City stamped Premier League class all over their second division opponents. On 17 minutes, Emile Heskey latching onto Steve Guppy's ball. Andy Woodman blocked his way to goal, but Ian Marshall drilled the loose ball home. 25 minutes gone and Leicester went 2 up. Robbie Savage playing a 1-2 with Ian Marshall and brought down by John Frayne. And Gary Parker confidently made it 2. Northampton made changes at half-time, but the pattern continued after the break. On 53 minutes, Savage lashing on to Parker's chip and doing the rest all by himself. And 5 minutes after that, Leicester's half-time substitute Tony Cottee grabbed his first goal since moving back to English football, a tap-in at the far post from Heskey's cross. One further blow for Northampton on an afternoon to forget. Ian Clarkson sent off for a reckless challenge on Muzzy Izzet. One goal settled this cup tie, but a goal of quality. Darren Barnard curling a free kick around Bolton's defensive wall and past Gavin Ward to give Barnsley's season a big boost. The only goal of a game marred late on when Alan Thompson tangled with a ball boy. Members of the home dugout became involved in a brawl, which then attracted players from both sides, policemen and stewards. The referee David Ellery had to wait before playing out the final 90 seconds, and a steward was led away before an investigation began. A hot-tempered match throughout and an unsavoury finale. Crystal Palace haven't won at home all season in the Premier League and only just got the better of 3rd Division Scunthorpe in the Cup. Jamie Smith's cross somehow reached Neil Emblin on the stroke of half-time, and Emblin's shot somehow beat Tim Clark, Emblin's first ever goal for Palace. Scunthorpe threatened throughout, and it was only 3 minutes from time before Palace could relax at all. Emblin again beating Clark to send Scunthorpe home to tell a hard luck story.
Against Manchester United, it's been the focus of media attention all week, variously dubbed as the match of the season and the cup final that should have been. It's really a clash of the titans that fires the imagination of football lovers all over the world. And needless to say, it's a sellout, and how ironic that the most glamorous soccer competition in the world will be shorn of one of its leading lights by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Indeed, with Liverpool gone and Arsenal facing a potentially hazardous replay at Port Vale, 3 of the 4 major protagonists in the Premier League could fall at the first hurdle. Well, Ruud Gullit rarely chooses the same 11, 2 matches running, but limited alterations today see Frank Leboeuf back at the heart of the Chelsea defence after a bout of flu, a timely return with Frank Sinclair suspended, and Mark Nichols taking over from Danny Granville, while Tore-André Flo is preferred to Paul Hughes. Hughes' namesake Mark, now MBE, will play in midfield against the club that he served so magnificently for so many years, and fittingly Mark Hughes will captain the side as Dennis Wise sits out a major match in his period of suspension. There's really only one surprise in Alex Ferguson's nominated 11. Henning Berg pays the penalty for mistakes in the shock defeat at Coventry and gives away to Ronny Johnsen. A sweet and sour move for Norway's international manager Egil Olsen, who's in the crowd at Stamford Bridge today, assessing them as well as Flo, and possibly one of the United substitutes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Dennis Irwin returns to the United backline after a 2-month absence, and most importantly of all perhaps, Peter Schmeichel resumes in goal, having missed the Christmas games with a back problem. And we're underway. This is a repeat, of course, of the FA Cup final of 1994, which Manchester United won 4-0, and then a repeat of the semi-final last year, which Manchester United won 2-1. And there is Schmeichel, and I was pretty sure during the week that if he could have him back in, Alex Ferguson would choose Schmeichel. He'll want him up against Mark Hughes there, the new MBE. Now Andy Cole for United, trying to press on against Leboeuf, who does well and sweeps the ball into the path of Mark Nichols, this youngster, locally groomed. He'll wait for support from Lasso, and a useful cross, but there to greet it was Pallister. Di Matteo, lovely ball, straight onto the toe end of Dan Petrescu, who goes forward, thinks of the shot, plays it instead, looking for 1-2s with Zola, edge of the area. Hughes, the square ball for Di Matteo, who spurns the opportunity to bring Lasso into it again. Instead it's Clark. On a ill-advised back heel by Beckham. Manchester United and Chelsea have met in 7 previous FA Cup ties, and Chelsea have only once won one back in 1950. So after a gap of 47 years, they'll reckon it's their turn. And the bookies find it hard to separate these two. Good play, Leboeuf. Zola. Hughes, it was a useful ball, one that Petrescu can capitalise on. It's Giggs getting back. And well, Petrescu left his foot in there, according to Mr. Lodge. And there's already a bit of an altercation down there between Ryan Giggs and Dan Petrescu. And Mr. Lodge is going to have to stamp his authority on this game early. For a moment he reached for the pocket, more because of Petrescu's reaction. Oh yeah, it was a bit late now. And Giggs in sharply, and there's a chance here for Cole. He's onside. Andy Cole can't work it past De Hoy. Thanks in the main to Steve Clark getting in there just to put Cole off in the act of shooting. It's Di Matteo instead for Chelsea. Zola making the run ahead. Doesn't get to him. And here goes Cole through the middle. It's a delicate pass, and here's Cole in on Leboeuf. Manages to hold his feet under the Frenchman's challenge. And gets it in there, and it'll be flicked through. Surely a goal for David Beckham. Manchester United are in front. And let's hear it, they say. Beckham stealing in there after Andy Cole had made the early incursion. It was a Giggs pass, a lovely one. Cole twisting, turning, and then the deflection, and then the flicked on header opened the door. And on 23 minutes, Manchester United have their noses in front. David Beckham. Giggs again from Scholes. This is Ryan Giggs at his best, at his most fluent, and he'll take a free kick out of Nichols, and Nichols' name is also going into Mr. Lodge's book for that. At first sight it seemed a trifle harsh, but the tackle was from behind. So can Beckham curl it? He can! David Beckham's done it again. And De Hoy has to be questioned on that one. He'll pick himself up, crestfallen. David Beckham was given such a sight of goal. It snakes inside the upright. The despairing left hand of De Hoy can do little about it. And David Beckham is sending Manchester United sailing on their way here. Curled around the outside of the wall, and one player, I think it was Petrescu, moved away. It's Giggs now, it's through to Cole, he'll try and turn, and he nearly got a ricochet. Finally it breaks for Di Matteo to drive the men in blue forward, and Di Matteo's gone 30 yards. Will still be kept in by Zola. Flo's the only one in the penalty area at the moment, so it'll have to be him. Oh, it was missed there by Jonsson. An unnerving moment for the Norwegian defender, who's been brought in place of Henning Berg today. Looked as though he really should have cleared that one up first time. Lasso's brought into it now. This is where they have to be careful of not straying offside. It's a good ball in for Nichols. Turns and across to Schmeichel, whose big hands claim the ball. Accompanied by a big grin. Nicely taken down by Lasso. Tries to create space for a cross ball in. Oh, it's headed just over by Dan Petrescu. And that would have made such a difference to the game if Petrescu had managed to knock this one under instead of over the crossbar. He's in a great position. 21 players are inside the Manchester United half, so hence United can break, and this is possibilities here. It's Cole going on, chased by Leboeuf. It's Andy Cole, and it's goal number 3, and Manchester United may be home and dry. He takes the salute, and Andy Cole's golden streak just goes on and on. In the last minute of the half, Chelsea had committed so many men forward that when the break was on, Cole took advantage superbly. And who would have predicted a half-time score at Stamford Bridge of Chelsea 0, Manchester United 3? Zola drags the ball through. It's carried on as the move with Di Matteo now. Referee plays a good advantage. They just need a break around the edge of that United area. This is Dewberry. They're 5 in the penalty area. Dewberry goes for goal. Schmeichel with the stop. It'll be kept in, and it's off the outside of the upright for Zola, and Schmeichel beats it out. Well, a combination there of a big Danish goalkeeper and the uprights foiling Chelsea. But at least they're giving it a go. It was well kept in there by Lasso and smacked off that bar. And Chelsea's substitution says the withdrawal of Tore-André Flo and the introduction of the eminently popular Gianluca Vialli. 2 goals last year against Liverpool that turned the course of the tie. 2 today might not be enough even. Now Giggs, Cole through the middle, Andy Cole's on his way again, and this might be number 4, Andy Cole! And on 66 minutes, surely Manchester United have sealed their passage. There's no way back for Chelsea, and there was no way that Andy Cole was going to be denied. He was away from Dewberry, tucked it in with some relish. This second, Manchester United's 4th, and we now have a repeat of the scoreline of the 1999 Cup Final. Giggs sets off and makes tracks in the opposite direction, trying to get away from Leboeuf, still going, Ryan Giggs, and he'll have a corner out of that. It was Giggs who supplied that killer ball for Andy Cole's 3rd goal, or the 3rd goal, his first. Now the United fans over on that side applauding their team as they work this corner routine, and it's floated in. It's goal number 5. Teddy Sheringham, so simple. Well, this is an extraordinary performance from Manchester United, and with 16 minutes to go, they've got a 5th goal, and it was just so easy. Sheringham soaring for the glory, and it's become a humiliation for Chelsea, who can do no more than play for pride now in these closing moments. Johnson is dispossessed this time, but then Beckham wins it back. Lasso, and he'll go on from here, and he tries to chip Schmeichel! Well, it's a beauty. It hardly counts, but it's in the record books. And Graham Lasso floats a delightful shot over Peter Schmeichel to give a crumb of comfort to Chelsea's miserable afternoon. That really is a delightful goal from the England man. 12 minutes to go, and Lasso strikes for Chelsea. Too little, too late, you feel, but it was a high-quality strike. Will come down for Zola. Still playing head tennis, which enables Beckham to free Manchester United, and he'll get on along that right touchline, and there are 2 in the middle. If Beckham finds them, Chelsea are in trouble. Cole's on a hat-trick, remember, and Leboeuf has brought him down, and the referee says the free kick will do. Is Leboeuf sensible enough, I think, not to argue, otherwise it would be a red card for him. One of those who's already had a yellow. Can lightning strike twice? It may well be Ryan Giggs. On the other hand, it is Beckham. Oh, and this time De Hoy makes the save of the match. Just to foil Beckham from what would have been a wonderful hat-trick. He struck it superbly, and the save was no less impressive. Myers has got the ball forward for Lascelles this time. Layoff from Hughes. Now they will advance in numbers. They're 2 pulled away, including Vialli. Is Gianluca Vialli in for goal number 2? He is! Well, what a game this is. I assure you they're not going to get another 3, but Schmeichel's furious. Vialli's kept up his record of a goal a game. 85 minutes gone, and Gianluca Vialli smashes the ball past Schmeichel, and it's Chelsea 2, Manchester United 5. 5 minutes to go. Chelsea 2, Manchester United 5, and Chelsea coming again, swarming forward, and they might get a 3rd. It's Di Matteo, and so close. Di Matteo frustrated. So was Hughes, diving in, but it was way ahead of him. Myers just managing to keep the ball in play. But it's back in United's possession. Oh, and Pallister's back pass here for Vialli, who'll tee up a third one for Petrescu. Surely it's got to be. Vialli! It's Chelsea 3, Manchester United 5. Well, this is an unbelievable scoreline. It really is. It was a horrid back pass by Pallister. He just didn't know Vialli was lurking. He teed it up for Petrescu. He in turn teed it up for Vialli. Well, it never ceases to amaze, this game of football. And Gianluca Vialli's second goal in 5 minutes means that hope even now springs eternal for Chelsea.
Howard Kendall, the Everton boss, on the injury front today. Andy Hinchcliffe still troubled by a hamstring. Gary Speed, he has also failed the fitness test. Craig Short misses out as well. 3 experienced campaigners who will all be missed. Danny Williamson also misses out on a recall today. Carl Tyler will be asked to hold it all together at the back in a vastly inexperienced lineup. 3 18-year-olds in the starting 11 for Everton. A heavy burden rests on Mickey Barmby and Duncan Ferguson up front. But Ferguson came back from suspension to score 3 times against Bolton last time out. He again wears the captain's armband. There are 4 youngsters, 20 or under, on the Everton bench today. Philippe Albert and David Batty both serve suspensions for Newcastle today. One other enforced change to the side that lost at home to Liverpool 5 days ago, with Warren Barton, who was forced off in that game, playing no part today either. Darren Peacock does return to the defence after injury. Des Hamilton is asked to play here from the start. John Barnes and Faustino Asprilla asked to provide the goal threat in the continuing absence of Alan Shearer. So Duncan Ferguson with the captain's armband for Everton. Will it continue to bring the best out in him as it did at Bolton? Faustino Asprilla battling on for Newcastle up front without Alan Shearer. And it's Everton from left to right in their famous blue and white who get us underway. Our match referee Martin Bodnam from Sussex. I hope he made his journey yesterday because travelling conditions today have been foul. Darren Peacock restored to the Newcastle lineup today. Stuart Pearce got his head to it to clear it. Conor Materi didn't give it up, but it did beat him. And 1 or 2 signs already that the players are going to have extreme difficulty keeping their balance. This one of a trio of 18-year-olds. Conor Materi, great first season in the big time for him so far with 5 goals. And so many of these Everton youngsters being asked to do men's jobs in a struggling side. Des Hamilton won the flick on. First touch for Thomas Müller, the new Norwegian goalkeeper. Well, between them, Michael Ball and Gareth Farley didn't communicate too well. Newcastle throw. Everton have never lost to Newcastle in the FA Cup. The last meeting, 94-95 season, when Everton went on to reach Wembley. Everton victorious in a narrow squeak in the 6th round. They won 1-0. What would Howard Kendall trade? Another slice of Everton's FA Cup glory this year. Hamilton to Beresford. Lee Gillespie hasn't seen the ball for 5 or 10 minutes. Now he has the chance to run. Against him is Tyler. Watson's chip to the back post, miscued. Well, more promising certainly from Keith Gillespie and Newcastle. Thomas's throw. Ferguson's knock on. Barmby, here he is. Well, Everton were looking for a penalty, but frankly, it looked a dubious call from the outset. Cadamarteri. Farrelly. Good change of feet and a good ball. Barmby inside his man Pistone. Nicky Barmby. Shot deflected away by Pearce. Hislop wasn't taking chances with it. Everton getting on top slowly but surely here. Lovely ball from Farrelly and a good incisive piece of work from Barmby. Newcastle did have the cover on though. Slip by Lee, well seen by Farrelly. Watson and Cadamarteri tangling, no foul. Last touch came off Steve Watson. It was another crunching tackle actually. This is Duncan Ferguson, faced by Pearce. Barmby. Farrelly tried to feed it back into Barmby. He went to ground, fell out to Cadamarteri. Chance of a shot from the edge of the box, no power. And a good sight of goal it was too for Tony Grant. Well, just about the nearest that Everton have come in the game to passing their way to an opening, and it is a good opening in a game this tight. But no power at all in the shot from Grant. Now there is to be a change for Newcastle. Asprilla is coming off, and sure enough, Ian Rush back on Merseyside and back in first team action again. Here he comes. We all know what Rush is capable of. Although it's a long, long time since he scored a goal in Newcastle's colours this season, that's what Kenny wants from him today. They've been a total Jekyll and Hyde team this season, Everton. Producing it on big days and then being woeful on others in the league. Gillespie's ball in. Danger here. Barnes. Might be a moment, and it is. And it's Ian Rush back on Merseyside. Everton went to sleep at the back, and they are behind. On 68 minutes, the substitute Rush, the veteran scorer. What a ball in from Gillespie. It took a healthy deflection as well. Barnes read it so brilliantly, and Rush was in like a hawk. Newcastle may have been second best, but when the chance came, they took it. Everton had their chances to clear it, and it was then, when it didn't happen, it was up to Thompson to get there ahead of Rush. Farrelly up to Ferguson. He tried to leave it alone. Pearce wasn't fooled. Lee. Suddenly there's a bit more zing in Newcastle's passing with the benefit of this goal behind them now. Here's Barmby. Ferguson. Cadamarteri. Grant. Oster. All the way round to Thomas. Swung it in for Ferguson. Got a piece of it too. Oh. Well, it just stuck in the mud in front of Hislop for a millisecond. If in doubt, hanging in there for Big Dunk. That's what Thomas did. Grant just inched it through. John Oster. Early ball, Ferguson's header. Hislop again made sure he got everything behind it. And Everton had nobody following the header in. Just for a moment again, seconds there, as it came back off the shins of Hislop. Cadamarteri. Aaron Hughes is the defender. He's done him too. Great work again from Cadamarteri. Needs help. Ferguson! Good save from Hislop at the death. Fine counter-attack from Everton. Yet again, Cadamarteri has the pace and determination to produce a half chance.
Just too long for Foster, who's come surging through, but he's made something out of it. Did well hit the Australian. Craig Foster with a strike for goal. Deflected into Portsmouth in front. Craig Foster really letting fly, and Bosnich deceived by the deflection. He did so well then to fashion the opportunity for himself. His persistence paid off, and Bosnich left rock-footed. The pass seemed to have gone astray, but Foster chased, and when he made that room for himself, he was able to deliver the shot that flew in off Steve Staunton. Southgate, the captain, among those waiting in the middle. Ehihog is up as well, in goes Taylor. That was Southgate, Knights off his line. And Ehihog, right in front of goal, I think was onside. Pompey defenders looking round for a flag. Knights made rather a mess of it. Back in by Southgate. Well, surely if he just left it, it would have gone in. Milosevic laid off into Draper. Wright bending over his cross. McLaughlin. Draper swung it in. Wright had it covered. But he does seem to have found a spark again of late, Mark Draper. I think Brian Little has told him he was allowing Taylor to do too much of his running. So he's got more involved lately, Draper. Igo tricking Wright. This is promising for Portsmouth. Svensson lurking in the centre. He goes Hall. Foster, another deflection. And the same result. Incredible. The goal with just over 5 minutes of the first half to go. And Bosnich can't believe his misfortune. Foster strikes again. And so similar to the first one. Clearly deflected in. Some lovely work down the right from Igo. Southgate's header not really cleared. It goes Hall. It spun initially into the path of Foster. And again, a wicked diversion. I think it was Ehihog in the way. Draper. Now Staunton. Orford's header. Nelson back in towards Draper. Orford's underneath it again. Here goes Staunton. And it crept in. Villa are right back in it. Steve Staunton. The dismayed figure there of Alan Knight. It was hit with such force, such venom by Staunton, he simply couldn't hold it. Again, the wind played a part there. Orford's header wasn't strong enough, but the shot from Steve Staunton certainly was. Although Knight, understandably, will be disappointed. It just squirmed away from him. Svensson. He's got a possession here for Pompey. Waterman again. Svensson. Villa can't get the ball off them. This is Foster, the man on a hat-trick. Aloisi with a great chance! Off the crossbar! Oh, what an escape then for Aston Villa. That could have sealed it. Foster. The two Australians toying with Aston Villa. Superb approach play that deserved the goal. And they came so close. The leading scorer, John Aloisi. Look at the League Cup play here. Just slipped through by Foster. Bosnich beaten again, but this time saved by the crossbar above him. Draper, who's seeing a lot of the ball, particularly in the second half. The header's just wide of goal from Julian Jurchin. Delightful ball swung in. And Jurchin, one of, if not the smallest player on the field, didn't really have to jump too much there. Ehihog threading it forward towards Savo Milosevic. Then Draper, Staunton getting forward again. This is Steve Staunton. Just couldn't wriggle his way through. McLaughlin, all untidy clearance. Straight to Draper. Ian Taylor. A horde of Pompey defenders back there. Can they hold on? Oh, it's let in. Grayson. Thompson dithering. And Grayson has made him pay for it. 4 minutes from time. It's 2-2. Poor Andy Thompson, who in truth has had a storming game at the back. Well, the protesting the Pompey defenders. Let's see what happened here again. That's Grayson flicking it on. Now, was Thompson pushed here? That was the complaint. Pompey felt he was pushed. He was certainly taking his time, whatever he was doing. Ian Taylor, look for him there, the number 7, as he comes in. Has he nudged Thompson off the ball? The referee didn't think so. Grayson was very cool and delivered it beyond Alan Knight. Svensson again. Now Hall. Nelson committed himself. Still Paul Hall. Taking on Draper. And Nelson. Just couldn't link up with a colleague. Now it's McLaughlin. Wonderful save by Bosnich. He might just have sneaked in. He certainly couldn't be sure. McLaughlin, scorer of so many vital goals in the past.
Neil Smith, former Tottenham reserve. Interesting ball up towards Moody. Carr got his head on the ball. Pesky Solido. An attempt on goal by the Canadian international. Came off Tottenham player. Pesky Solido went for the spectacular. And that's going to be an important aspect of the game, which Fulham are going to have to be very careful about. Carr. One or two Fulham defenders are wondering whether that ball had gone out of play before Vega got his head on the ball. And the answer was the ball hadn't gone out of play. It was a close thing. Carr just kept it in before Vega headed it out. Ramon Vega, who's scored some important goals for Tottenham in recent weeks. Carr, Brady to his right. Brady's cross, Klinsmann. Good move by Tottenham. And Klinsmann applauds the cross by the young midfield player, which created this possibility for Jürgen Klinsmann to score the opening goal of the game. What happened to the Fulham marking? It really wasn't that close as far as Jürgen Klinsmann was concerned. He wasn't marked as he arced the ball dangerously close to Mike Taylor's goal. It's really a vital match for Spurs, who ended 1997 next to bottom of the English Premier League, 2 points clear of Barnsley. And can they find a goal here? Clemens, he scored! Vital breakthrough comes Tottenham's way, and a goal for Stephen Clemens. Oh, what a cleverly executed goal this was. Dominguez brought the ball a long way. Good touch here by Clemens. Alan Nielsen might have done better, but Clemens stuck to his task and drills the ball wide on Mike Taylor for the opening goal of the match. A little bit of excitement and enthusiasm seems to have gone from Fulham's play. They know they're in with the big boys now. And it's 2-0. And a goal for Colin Calderwood. 2 goals in 8 minutes. And these Tottenham fans will feel they have the game sewn up already. Look at the space here that Vega had to turn and hook it back in. And Calderwood just got his slide to the ball to divert the ball over the line. This is where the problem arose, because Matthew Lawrence got nowhere near to his marker to get close to Vega and deny him the opportunity to turn the ball back in. Fulham continue to be determined, and their determination has resulted in them winning another free kick, and Sol Campbell could be in trouble here. Two missed-time challenges in the space of 2 or 3 minutes. So free kick to Fulham. Incidentally, no yellow card there for Sol Campbell. Can Fulham find a goal with 10 minutes to go to half-time? They trail by 2 goals to 0. Oh, that was a good attempt on goal by Trollope. Just ricocheted against the outside of the upright. Walker says, I didn't see it, to be honest. Very clever free kick. Bent round the wall. was that Walker didn't have the ball covered. Seemed to be getting out of the way. This is the closest Fulham have come, certainly. Well executed free kick. Tottenham leading 2-0. Wilson with the cross, looking for Klinsmann. Calderwood! He almost scores again. He's enjoying his new role as a central midfield player. And a little bit of space to move forward here. Lawrence. Great cross by Lawrence and a goal for Fulham. And would you believe it? It's the Tottenham old boy, Neil Smith, who scores. Oh, this is a fabulous cross by Lawrence, who's had a torrid night. And when the ball was played into the middle, Neil Smith, the former captain of the Tottenham reserves, turned the ball in. And here comes Dominguez for Spurs. Oh, the goalkeeper somehow lost it, he's crossed the line. And he's staked by Mike Taylor. And it's a goal. Goalkeeper's made an error and given Tottenham a goal. Dominguez with a cross, and it's a first goal for young Gary Brady. Oh, surely that's an own goal against Mike Taylor. Brady desperately unlucky, but Taylor will regret that finger fumbling save, which has given Tottenham their third goal and could well take them through to round 4. And here comes Tottenham again. Klinsmann! Klinsmann! And still Klinsmann. Dominguez with a free kick. Klinsmann! Getting closer and closer. Another dangerous cross. And pesky Solido desperately close. Klinsmann can't get the better of Coleman, but Taylor picked the ball up for the back pass, and it's going to be penalised here. He's having a very, very unhappy night. Yeah, that was a pass back, and Taylor picked the ball up. And a mistake by Taylor.